priorities. So I'm laying in my bed, pondering, as many people probably do, especially in the current times. And, you know, everything goes around your head and all the rest of it. And I know everyone's starting to get the hump and everyone's starting to realise what's going on and all the rest of it. But funnily enough, I think that's what they actually want at this point. I think they want an excuse to bring in, you know, a proper harsh martial law, military on the streets, you know, mandated, you know, vaccines, all the rest of it. We can't allow that to happen. I mean, the best way to deal with this, really, oh, sorry, I'm trying to get my light right, it's all dark, is to say no. Don't get the hump. Well, I mean, get the hump, but, you know, don't get angry, get even, just say no. But it's what came to me, and I know it's one of those things. Right, basically, the only real way to stop this, the real way to get them on their knees, would be to everyone pull their kids out of school, because they're gonna do it one day. Look, even if you said no, they'll sit the kid down and go, listen, your mum and dad are mad, do you know what I mean, or whatever. Would you like to do it? We'll give you a lollipop if you have it. Oh yeah, go on then. Boom, done. Your kids don't legally have to be at school. They have to be educated. And I know it would mean a huge personal sacrifice. And this is the double. Funnily enough, this is what they want. But it's true, people need to forget about materialism. You know, that does need to happen. And this is the bloody thing. But it's got to be done on our terms. You take your kids out of school, because that's what they want the kids, but the kids aren't in their education campaign, then they won't hear their way of thinking. They'll grow up with your family values rather than the state family values. And I can't remember which country it is, in Denmark or anyway, I'm going to be wrong, whatever it is, but their kids don't go to school till they're 7 years old, and they've got like one of the best education records, if not, you know what I mean, in Europe. And it's because the kids have spent that time with their family, learning their family values rather than the state's, but seeing the family's work ethic. So at this point, you know, they adopt that kind of attitude. And regardless of what you think and all the rest of it, like in terms of your personal self, I mean, it's the kids that they ultimately need to get to, because it's not too late for them to, you know what I mean, they're still malleable in terms of their way of thinking, whereas people like me, I'm 38 years old, and for 30 of it, I've known that this world I lived in isn't the world that I would want to live, you know what I mean? I remember telling my mum that she was a slave when I was a young child. I remember when they first started spraying clouds out of aeroplanes when I was a kid. I went, Mum, look at that. Oh yeah, it's just this, that, and that. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Oh. And you need to go to the ukcolumn.org and watch their Monday, Wednesday, Friday reports. They're a couple of hours long, live stream at 1 p.m. These guys use the government statistics and that against them. And the way that, I can't remember the guy's name, on Friday they had him on, no, Wednesday, sorry, tomorrow's Friday. On Wednesday they had him on, I can't remember his name, but he's like a proper statistician. And he looked at all the COVID things and he worked out how they're doing it. And it's statistic manipulation. So they say you're 80% more unvaccinated are dying in hospitals than vaccinated. But then, like they say, you have to go to they've changed, the definition of the word, what it means to be vaccinated. Now, if you haven't had both the jabs and the booster within, say, like, and it's like 6 months apart or something, and if you don't have a reaction within 14 days after, if you have a reaction, but it has to be after 14 days after the jab. Well, so people who've had 2 jabs that are dying of heart attacks, of which I know several people this has happened to already, I know far more people that have been ill since the vaccines than before it. I personally had the COVID and it was a piece of piss. And everyone is, frankly, playing Russian roulette. But listen, forget yourselves, it's your children. I've got a very strong suspicion, and it's coming out in the sterility. They're sterilised. They're going to sterilise the kids. And you listen to the radio ads at the moment, say, "Oh, we need plasma for, immunologically weakened people." Well, why are they immunologically weakened? These people are the people who have been vaccinated. According to, these people, and instead of just banning everyone, like me, I'll probably get banned on this one, instead of just banning everyone, prove us wrong. Prove us wrong. I've been saying this for years. Prove me wrong. And at the same time, you've got the Ghislaine Maxwell case not being mentioned because of all the coverage of, the media campaign for the COVID fiasco. At the same time, you got, America, China, America, Russia, which would mean China, threatening each other with, and Elon Musk at the same time saying about needing to have, what was it he called? The monopoly of violence do you know what I mean? The monopoly of violence. There's so much going on at the minute. So many people are being stopped from speaking. They're starting to listen. If you've had your jabs and want to have jabs and all that, fine, brilliant. That's your right. Your right of free choice. But whatever you do not make the mistake of letting them go against the wishes of those that don't. Because once they take away one freedom, that's it. That is it. And I was nearly asleep and I was just coming on and I was just like, you know what, I've just got to make a little video now because it's been on my mind for days or whatever since the last one. At the same time, I had a week in bed with a bad back, and then it started raining, so I've been worrying about Christmas and all that, and then it brings you back to your kids, my boys. Ain't nobody touching my boys. If you was all my witness, nobody is touching my boys. And I would urge them, do not let them go near your kids. Do what you want to yourself, but fuck's sake, do not let them experiment on your kids. Honestly. Everything I've been talking about for the last God knows how many years is all coming out into play. And I'm worried. But I'm more worried as well, the fact that I think they listen, these people are not stupid. The people, Boris Johnson, they go, oh, Boris Johnson, no, it's got nothing to do with him. He's not in charge. It's Bill Gates and all them, the people that pay for them. George Soros, them lot. Boris Johnson, they're just the people that you see on the telly to get angry at. Oh, look at him, he's a twat. Oh, the Tories, the Labour. Listen, fuck all of them. Do you think it would be any different if Labour was in charge? They're not in fucking charge. Who pays for these people? Brussels is just a city of fucking lobbying firms. Wake the fuck up. But do not get violent. That's what they want. Look, they're not stupid, yeah? They know exactly what they're doing. But certainly the people that are paying for them do. And they want us to get angry. They want an excuse to bring the army in. They want an excuse to do all that. But just disacquiescence. Just don't do it. Yeah, all right. But don't do it. Just please. How many more people are we going to have to see freaking well die? Stop it. Why do you think 130,000 fucking NHS nurses and all that are walking out? Because they don't want to have the jab and that. Why do you think that? Because they want to talk. They've been threatened with their jobs if they talk about it and if they don't have the jab. Well, they don't want a jab and they want to talk about why they don't want it. 130,000 of them. These are career people that care. If people were dying, do you think they'd be leaving their jobs? Common sense, a bit of old savvy, you know what I mean? Oh, please, just once, ukcolumn.org. The next one will be tomorrow at 1 p.m. or Friday, whatever. But just use your head. Think about taking your kids out of school. I know it'd be hard, but it's going to be harder losing them, or it'll be harder for them losing you. Then who's going to protect them? I love you all. It's a pirate's life for me. Arr.